the side that says Avery at the top?
This says Avery and this says
All right, so for my friends at home, we are practicing inferencing, and we just talked about how inferencing is like being a detective. The author is not going to tell us every single little thing. Sometimes the author gives us clues, and as a detective, we try to figure out what the author is telling us about the character or about the situation. So, who would like to read the first little paragraph for me? And then we'll see if we can make an inference about it. On both sides. All right, Hunter, what does it say?
It says Avery watched as her
Does that have a beauty reference, right?
neighbors moved, and he observed a tall man carrying a bicycle and a
Kayak.
kayak into the garage. She also saw a young woman carrying a surfboard through the front door.
Ooh. Avery watched as her new next door neighbors moved in. So you've got these new next door neighbors. You've never met them before. And she observed things. What did she observe? What did she see?
A surfboard.
She observed a tall man carrying a bicycle and a kayak. She observed a young woman carrying a surfboard into the front door. So, what can you inference from just seeing those things? You've never met them, you've never talked to them, but you saw those things. What could you inference, Lumen?
They like spending time outdoors.
They like to spend time outdoors. What about in the paragraph made you make that inference?
Because they were bringing surfboards, bicycles.
Yeah, look, surfboards is an outdoor activity. Riding a bicycle is an outdoor activity. A kayak is an outdoor activity. So the guesses were Avery can infer that A, her neighbors are elderly. What does elderly mean? Old. Is that one right? Are they old?
No.
Nope. Her neighbors have several children. Was there anything in here that made you have an inference that her neighbors had lots of children?
I only heard like one children.
She saw a young woman, maybe? So not lots of children there, right? Her neighbors like to spend time outdoors. Does that one make a possible sense? Yes. Her neighbors are kind and generous. It's possible her neighbors are kind and generous. Is there anything in this little paragraph, though, that makes you have that gives you that inference? No. So the best choice is C, because of the clues of things that you do outdoors. Good. All right, Lumen, you want to read the next one?
Mm-hmm. When Joseph walked into the kitchen, he saw muddy paw prints on the floor. His mother's wet coat was hanging on a chair. Below the coat, he spotted his mother's rubber shoes. Joseph looked for his dog, Riley. He found Riley, who was soaking wet, lying on the couch, panting.
Goodness. So when Joseph walked in the kitchen, he saw muddy paw prints on the floor. His mother's wet coat was hanging on a chair. He noticed her rubber shoes. He couldn't find Riley, but then when he did find him, he was soaking wet, lying on the couch, panting. All right, what do you think? What inference would you make? As a detective, what do you think's going on?
So Riley's mother took their dog for a walk in the rain, maybe?
All right, so let's look at all the answers. Joseph can infer that his mother gave Riley a bath. Okay.
How would his paws be dirty?
Yeah. What about the mud on his paws? Muddy paws. Good job, Hunter. Okay, so we're thinking D. Well, let's just double check. I'm going to eliminate A. Riley played in the yard during a rainstorm.
Oh, that has nothing to do with the dog.
Okay.
And the raincoat.
Riley dragged the coat inside. His mother took Riley for a walk in the rain. So I think for a walk, What clue told us that she went for a walk? Hunter.
There was footprints on a wet coat was hanging on a chair, soaking wet.
Okay. And then I also noticed below the coat, he spotted his mother's rubber shoes. Yeah. So I agree. We can infer D. Kayla made a steak dinner for her family. Her mom and dad each ate 2 full steaks and a large helping of mashed potatoes. When the meal was over, everyone's plate was empty. Kayla can infer her family enjoyed the meal. The steak was too well done. A steak dinner is an easy meal to make. There will be lots of leftovers. Thinking about this whole paragraph, which one is the best inference? Hunter says A. Why do you say A, Hunter?
Her family probably enjoyed it because their plates were clean.
Everyone's plate was empty. Ooh, that's a good inference. Their plates wouldn't be clean if they didn't enjoy it, right? Her mom and dad each ate 2 full steaks. Would you do that if they were too well done? No. And then Kayla had made a steak dinner. Does it say anywhere in there that a steak dinner is an easy meal to make? Nope, it doesn't even talk about that, does it?
Okay.
And then there will be lots of leftovers. Do you think there's going to be lots of leftovers? No, look, they had large helpings of mashed potatoes and they both ate 2 full steaks. So A, her family enjoyed the meal. Does the author ever say in the paragraph, the family enjoyed the meal? Do you see those words? The family enjoyed the meal inside that paragraph? Come on, guys, help me out. In the paragraph that I read, did it say anywhere in there that the family enjoyed the meal? Did the word? I don't see those words. Kayla made a steak dinner for her family. Her mom and dad each ate 2 full steaks and had large helpings of mashed potatoes. When the meal was over, everyone's plate was empty. Did you see the words? The family enjoyed the meal? No, but can we make an inference that they enjoyed the meal? Yes, plenty of clues there. Good. All right, last one we'll do together, and I'll let you do the back on your own. Alexander arrived at his grandmother's house at 10 o'clock at night. He saw her car in the driveway, and the front door was open. The window was lit with a blue flickering light. Alexander can infer A, his grandmother was reading a book. B, his grandmother was not home. C, his grandmother was watching television. Or D, his grandmother was sleeping. Which one do you think would be a good inference? A good inference, Lumen?
So his grandmother had to be watching TV.
Why do you think she had to be watching TV?
Because, you know how TV where they have different scenes and makes the red flicker?
Yes, the blue flickering light. When you can see in the window that light kind of flickering, you know the television is on.
Yeah, she either has to be watching television or reading a book because it says in the paragraph that he saw her car in the driveway.
Excellent. So which one can we eliminate? Which one do we know is wrong? B. We know B is wrong because her car was in the driveway. Very nice job. Now, we can't be positive that she wasn't sleeping, but if we use the clues in the paragraph, we would have to guess between, I agree, either reading a book or watching television. And then Lumen found this clue, a blue flickering light, and realized, okay, when you read a book, do you have a blue flickering light? No. So I agree. I think the best inference is his grandmother was watching television.
Or it could be that she was reading a book, but the light she was using was really bad.
That would be a horrible way to read a book, wouldn't it? So an inference is a good guess. It doesn't mean that we're absolutely 100% right. It means that we use the clues the author gives us and we make a good guess with those clues. All right, so I would like for you to go on the back, read those paragraphs, and make your inferences for me, please.